Koloya Bashimio Shai Bashimakakadash. That is all praise to the Most High in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the Paleo Hebrew. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, our spiritual fathers, taught us issue Paul truth, continue to rule well. Salutation and blessings to the whole full Akakian. I wanted to get into how close that the world is to all-out global conflict with one of the recent provokings of America against the bear, Russia, which are two of the primary proponents in World War III, which this place is about to be met with. All right, and this is coming behind other provocation by America to their allies, to Russia's allies in North Korea. All right, which is why we can see this act here in this recent article being responded to, all right, with link-ups with Russia and North Korea. And we're going to get into it. See, to show you how fucking close we are to this place in the all-out global conflict known as going to be deemed as World War III, which has been foreshadowed and predicted by and pretty much in so many terms and verbiage guaranteed, all right, that you can bet your bottom fucking dollar on from all these different forecasters, all right, and people in these different positions who are in the know, but most primarily by the men of the Lord, all right, the prophets. This is in accordance with the biblical prophetic timeline, all right, in namely in with the end times, all right, which is going to close the book on Esau's age. Okay, this is from Al Jazeera from September 6th. Blinken hails Ukraine counteroffensive as the U.S. announces $1 billion in new aid. All right, and we've already you already fucking know that Russia has put out that declaration that anybody that is found out to be providing aid into Ukraine in their war that they have is going to be deemed as an act of war, all right, against Russia, because by proxy you're now bolstering and strengthening the military might of their enemy that they're currently engaged with. So that's indeed an act of war, and this declaration was put out fucking in the start of this thing, you know. So, and this in the midst of constant defiance of that by the U.S. government, man, fucking D.C. and this current cabinet, all right, providing aid into those fucking devils over there, man. Which we already know that it's by the will of the Heavenly Father that they're getting crushed over there, okay? And that war continues to rage on. It is going to escalate into an all-out rumble, metaphorically, in the form of the nations linking up for battle. All right. So they just provided or are providing another $1 billion in aid to Ukraine in their conflict against Russia. Okay. So it said they're gonna shoot them with. I'll use, that's colloquial. Let me use the proper term. They were provided with these HIMARS missile systems, Javelin weapons, Abrams tanks, and humanitarian assistance. Okay. Let's see. And this is in the midst of Russia fucking going to town on Ukraine, so to speak. All right, they, just like it said, they leveled a fucking an eastern city or an eastern town. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Well, let's get this real quick. Corinne Jean-Pierre said on Wednesday, said the Pentagon said it would also send depleted uranium ammunition, which is highly effective at piercing armor plates, but their use is controversial. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So the ongoing counteroffensive progress has accelerated in the past few weeks. This new assistance will help sustain it and build further momentum, Blinken told reporters at a news conference with Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba on Wednesday that coincided with a Russian attack in eastern Ukraine that killed at least 16 people. All right. So they're over there fucking wiping the floor with those Ukrainians, man. They're proving to be too much for them. But this is in accordance with prophecy, because that thing is going to escalate. All those fucking skirmishes and proxy wars that America has been suspected of bolstering the Russia's enemies, and primarily, I should say, Moscow, because they title their shit after the capital, right? Just like they do Ukraine, it's interchangeable with Kiev, just as Moscow is interchangeable with fucking Russia, and even America, DC, right, or the Pentagon, right? DC is interchangeable with this place. So, really, Moscow, all right, it's been all these different, you have shit going down in Azerbaijan, shit going down in the Crimean border, all over there in the old USSR. Since that thing was disbanded, you've had the U.S. suspected of funding different enemies of Russia. Okay, that's what you know as fighting with them by proxy. But it's gonna go direct in what we know as a third world war. Okay, it says. You got the point. 2, it says, we're happy that we're not alone through this winter. We will do it together with our partners, he told Blinken. Asked about Blinken's visit, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Moscow believed Washington planned to continue funding Ukraine's military to wage this war to the last Ukrainian. Okay. Says, wow, see? He said U.S. aid to Kiev would not affect the course of what he called Russia's special military operation. Okay. These brutal Russian attacks underscore the importance of continuing to support the people of Ukraine as they defend their territory, Jean-Pierre said. Okay. This is, see, this was the Most High working in the minds of the kings, right? Just as it says that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Most High. All right, he put the spirit on these different nations, namely here on Putin, and that whole fucking leadership, that whole leadership in Moscow over that whole country to come up against fucking America, and primarily to put a halt and to first to lift the skirts on this fucking whore, right? To say that the West, how wicked the West is, and of all its crimes and its fucking track record of death and destruction, all right, and then to put a halt to its guys, because America has it performs different humanitarian shit around the world. Slovakia. It performs death and destruction under the guise of humanitarian effort, okay, of policing the world, all right, that if we don't come and do this, then, it's a risk to pretty much to humanity because of the different laws or lack thereof around the earth, okay, of different peoples, how they govern and pretty much govern their people, okay. So he said, fucking Esau Edom says, no, we need to come in here and make sure you're doing this right, all right. But that's completely wicked, because not only is that completely against the scriptures, all right, that people is supposed to be left the fuck alone in their own bounds, all right, to do what they were fucking created to do, not to be infringed upon by this man, by a motherfucker who is exalting himself as straight up as God on the earth, okay. And really out of control. He's doing the opposite of what he said he's coming to fucking do, to liberate peoples, but he's just coming with that control, okay. This primarily being America, because indeed the Russia, okay, and a lot of these other fucking nations are Edomite as well, okay. So this is the devil being divided against the devil, and that's this man's place is already out the door before it even was fucking formed, before it was established, because of how it was set up on blood and fucking ill-gotten gains and off of witchcraft and abominations. Man, there's no way in hell this place could have had any type of span. Okay, triumph of the wicked is short. Don't you know from it's like a principle of life. Okay, so this is also Russia and these other nations saying, wait, hold up, motherfucker, you're not gonna come in and impose yourself as God and come and try to police the world, okay, in the foreign affairs, have your fucking your nose in the affairs of these other nations, man, okay, primarily here in the USSR, and Russia's attempts to reclaim that territory, okay. So here we have Russia and North Korea linking up. All right. Why would North Korea's Kim and Russia's Putin want to meet? Moscow seeking to quash Kiev counteroffensive while Pyongyang is extending pace of missile testing. Okay. And whether it's on the surfaces or not, because I'm not really too versed about this, because there's so much fucking lies and fluff and bullshit, complete deception out there on the web that you have to siphon and filter through, okay, that you have to sift through to find the truth on these different alliances that they have globally, because you got to understand they don't publish it in a certain place unless it's of their best interest. That's the whole concept of the quote. That's the whole logic and the background of that quote that says victory. The victor writes the history, or Napoleon quoted, "History is lies agreed upon," because if it doesn't fit the narrative, if it doesn't paint the person in power, if it doesn't paint them in a positive light, if it doesn't portray and convey them to be power, they'll lose their fucking dominance. Okay. But regardless of his attempts to choke all that out and to attempt that from coming out, it's been exposed by way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Heavenly Father, is the one who's been allowing these things to come out. And as I said, the thoughts and the preparations of men come from the Most High anyway. So even these people, any fucking body, all these alternative news and media all over the fucking social media and the web, exposing shit left and right, it's just straight up by the mouth of the Most High. Okay, and it started with the prophets anyway. But regardless of what's out there, because they're only going to put out news that is going to continue to perpetuate their picture of dominance in the world. Okay, their global hegemony. That anything against that, they're gonna put a lid on that shit. So they're not gonna tell you on the surface. They're not gonna fucking tell you that Russia and North Korea are straight up linking the fuck up to come against this whore. All right, and it's been like this for years. Okay, because they're actually over there in the same fucking territory. Okay, and the Most High is mustering to the battle. He's the one that the mind of these kings is in the hand of, that the Most High is manipulating and influencing them to get together to come against this place. And even morally, when you just look at it too, even on the surface, that this place is guilty of so many fucking crimes across the earth, all right, from its inception, that it needs to be recompensed. It needs to be fucking taken down, all right, at any means necessary, even at the possibility of mutual assured destruction, even at that prospect of that, right? It says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un may travel to Russia for a summit with President Vladimir Putin a U.S. official has said. The possible trip would underscore deepening cooperation as the two isolated leaders are locked in separate confrontations with Washington. U.S. officials also said that Russia is seeking to buy ammunition from North Korea to refill reserves drained by its war in Ukraine. In return, experts said North Korea will likely want food and energy shipments and transfers of sophisticated weapons technologies. Because if you know anything about Kim Jong-un, that fucking Trump coined to be Rocket Man, this guy is trying to get he's trying to get his fucking missiles, his missile arsenal. He's trying to will get his team, if you will, right, to be successful in develop a successful missile with the range to reach America. He already knows that other nations already have it. Okay. And this is just what they're telling us. This nigga could have shit cocked and ready to go that can reach over here in no time, just like China and Russia has. Okay. We already know that China and Russia went hypersonic years ago. Okay. Meaning that broke into a whole new sphere, into a whole new it crossed over into basically like a whole, it's greater than a level, Slovakia for the lack of the term, but they crossed over into a whole fucking super fucking elevated level of this technology. Okay, a whole new world almost, man. All right, with this hypersonic shit. All right, completely changed the tide of the this arms race, the thermonuclear arms race. Okay, with these things now reaching speeds that are unprecedented. All right, a range that is unprecedented, meaning the distance, as well as its destruction capacity, how much it can fuck up. And then, of course, one of the main things is its inability to be intercepted. The technology, these things are being increased on these to increase the or Slovakia to decrease the target nation's ability to intercept these missiles or to shoot it out of the fucking sky. Okay. Let's see. Meeting with Putin would be Kim's first summit with the foreign leaders since North Korea closed its borders in January 2020. They met for the first time in April 2019, 2 months after Kim's high-stakes nuclear diplomacy within U.S. President Donald Trump collapsed. Okay. So we just went into it. They have military assets to exchange, all right, and both with the common enemy as it went into of America. Okay, so right under the nose of the fucking American people that are completely fast to fucking sleep across the planet, because just as this place has been a cup of abominations in the hand of all the nations and have made them drunk, the inhabitants of the other nations as well, to an extent is going to come and take them by storm, okay? But not even really in comparison to this place, all right? That regardless of the foreknowledge of the people, so the inhabitants of the world, right underneath their fucking nose, that the third world war is in preparations of cracking off, okay? This is in Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay? This woe here in Revelation, the 11th chapter, is going into wars. Okay, woe goes into destruction. And some of the most destructive events in history have been wars. And namely, these two world wars, and this third that has even been prophesied by some of fucking Esau's most praised and worshipped and prolific fucking figures in his history. All right, that spoke about the Third World's War. Okay. The scriptures prophesied of it, and we know that it happened fucking less than 100 years ago. All right, well, less than 100 years ago. It was really like 1950. We're not even, a score away from it being. We're less than a score, or more than a score. Salakia. Okay. We're more than a fucking score away from. Or a Slakia. We are less than a score, or more than a score of 100 years, right? So more than 20 of 100 years, to show you, not even close to 100 years, more than a score. Less than 100 years removed from the Second World War. Okay, and I could have just said 80 years, but it's to show you, because when you clump shit up in history with centuries is like, it's kind of a marker of something of how they classify shit in centuries. Not even fucking a century away, man. Score less than that shit. More. Alright? I'll show you how soon that was and how quickly this thing is about to fucking U-turn on the earth, man. All that fucking heartache and pain that all the nations felt, that they were just recovering from the last, 80 years. Man, to come right back to it. But in the worst way, in the worst fucking way. With this warfare, modern warfare, they got ray guns, they got fucking drones, they got fucking all kind of shit, man. Laser weapons, they got fucking heat guns, radiation weapons, all right? Fucking super soldiers, right? They got the mech warrior, which is like the goddamn robots, right? So, and then it's gonna culminate in fucking thermonuclear war, thermonuclear fucking holocausts, plural, different nations, before mutual assured destruction. So, that's what we've come to declare, and to warn the fucking people and sound the alarm that, behold, this terrible world's woe is right at the fucking doorstep, man. Okay? And to only do the only one thing that you can, it is to praise and worship your power. Only fucking thing you're really supposed to do. Alright? But some were not created to do it. I'll put it like this. You were created to do it, but some were predestined to rebel against him on this side. All right? That's beside the point. This edification is for who it is for the elect. All right? And I'll put it this way, and for any of them, regardless, because even them that are not the elect, there's levels of destruction too. Okay? There's levels of shame. Okay? There's levels to every fucking thing. So you best be doing what's in your, whatever you fucking can to lessen the pain for yourself. Okay. There's only one way you can do that. Let's get into this. Ezekiel 38. It says in the second verse, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right? And on that second article, we know that Russia is going to be an aid and a guard into the nations, as we see they've been for the last several years, and even more so in recent times. Okay, because all these things are ramping up. We see them providing aid into these other so-called Middle Eastern countries, which the beautiful elder Malcolm brought out is just really called considered East Asia. Middle East is just a modern term the wicked put on it, but those East Asian countries, okay, went into which are a lot of Ishmael and some of Elam and shit, okay. So you have fucking Russia being an aid to those nations on a high scale in recent times, even more, okay, and they're, as well as their accentuating their hatred for the whore, okay. That's one of the main common denominators that they can come together on, okay. One of their main agreeing points of agreement. All right. So it says, once again, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So we know, going here into Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshech going into Russia. Okay. When you go into Slovakia, geographically, the region of where this is, biblically, it's exactly where modern day Russia sits. Furthermore, when you go into this word chief, prince, that word chief meaning Ra'ash, and then prince going into Shar, Ra'ash Shar, chief prince, is literally the ancient way of saying Russia, okay? And when you go into all these different identities in the scriptures, the different nations, all right, the table of nations, and that all modern day peoples are progeny from the progenitors in the scriptures. Everyone in modern day times, every last fucking person here dwelling on the earth go back to one of the nations in the Bible, man. Okay? And it just goes back to names of people, because a people are fucking people and not a place. Okay? So you are not where you're dwelling at. You are who your forefathers are. Okay? When you go into Meshech is the ancient way. Not only is Ra'ash Shar, which when you go into Ruusha, or Ruusha, right? Is literally Russia, Ruasha. Okay. But then furthermore, this word Meshach is the ancient way of pronouncing Slovakia. Is Moscow is the modern term for Meshach. All right, we've got fucking slice them up with this right here. This is amazing Bible timeline with world history. Meshach meaning long, tall, or drawn out by force. And we know this is the correct one because this word Meshach in the blue letter, I believe, indeed does go into drawn out. Okay. Ezekiel 38. Meshach. And for a further breakdown of all this, you can go to I did a segment a few months ago called Russia Smack Dab in the Scriptures. Did a full breakdown on this spirit and power. But Meshach means drawing out. Okay, so we know that's the correct breakdown for Meshach is a drawing out, but not just a drawing out. It's a drawing out by force. And that's heavy because we're going to go back into the scriptures real quick when it says down here into the 4th verse, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee and all thy army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, so he's gonna draw them out, right? Because it's heavy when you put a pruning hook is likened into when you hook a fish. That's literally what a pruning hook is. Actually, it's just one that's on the end of a line with bait. Okay. Another pruning hook is the pruning hooks that they have in a freezer when they have those fucking cows that are hung up, right? In those butcher houses. That's a pruning hook. So it's likened unto it being put into the jaws of an animal, right? It being fucking yanked and pulled whithersoever the one leading it shall wills it to go. Okay, it's exactly what's happening in the form of this nation. Okay, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, fucking just as it said, being one of the main aggressors, belligerents, opponents in this third world's war. Okay, to get it cracking in this fucking global conflict. All right, to bolster and increase the armies, the military might of these other nations. Okay, but he's being drawn out by the hooks by Yahweh Shem Shai to do this. You see, so going back, drawn out by force. And that's a violent depiction, okay, of having a hook, because it has to fucking pierce your jaws, okay, your mouth for it to like get a grip on your shit, so it can get your shit yanked. Okay, it says the sixth son of Japhet. Listen, in the Bible, these usually closely associated with Tubal especially in the prophecy of Ezekiel in the Bible. He is found on the timeline of the Bible after the Great Flood. It says, dropping down. Wow. It says, he is said to be the ancestor of several nations like the Moshahini, the Illyrians, Georgians, Caucasians, and Armenians. It says the two most prominent are the Muski of Assyria and the Moskoi of Greece. It is believed that the Muscovites descended from Meshech. Okay, it says the nations of Meshech. The nation of Meshech was believed to have originated from the northeast of Asia Minor, particularly the area where Turkey now occupies. Then they traveled north and settled in Rosh, the modern day Russia. Okay, so that modern day Slovakia, that ancient way of saying Russia, Rosh, is in the scriptures, Ra'ash, right? And then you have right here, it says, it is thought that Meshech started the barbaric and brutal nation of Moski, who inhabited the Moskin mountains that connected the lands of the Caucasus to the Anti-Taurus mountains. Their heads were protected by wooden caps, and they were armed with shields and small spears. The name Moscow is said to come from the term Mosky, to link it all up. Okay? Let's get a little bit of this. It says, aside from the Mosky, Meshech was also identified with Rossi, the modern-day Russians. The Rossi and Mosky are enormously multiplied their nations in the Russian area. To show you even more proof, linking them up through the Mosky. Okay? All right, and not just like it said, the nation of Meshech right here at the top, migrating to north to settle in Rosh, but you also have the Rossi, okay, links of Meshech to the Rossi, okay. Undoubtedly, this is Russia, okay. So that's why we see them heavily popping up in current events, all right, in this global conflict. And what you see right now, this fucking war in Ukraine, them taking it to those devils over there so they can reclaim that territory and build back up that bear, okay, that the USSR, okay. Let's get back in these scriptures. Back in Ezekiel 38, it says in the 7th verse, it says, be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay? So that's why you see Russia bolstering the military mights of these other nations around in the perimeters of the Russian territory, okay? Fucking Iran, all right? Fucking North Korea, fucking China, okay? And many more to turn against this whore, to set their face against this fucking whore, and to come at it in a full offensive, okay? Let's get this and finish it off. In Joel 3:9, it says, but proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right? And that's what the men of Yahweh Shai have been from the elders and apostles on down, have been disseminating, okay, have been dispensing, have been warning, have been as a red alert, right? As a trumpet, as the watchers on the watchtower that can see the war, the fucking enemy coming far off, metaphorically, have been warning the people that war is nigh, is drawing nigh, okay? Death and destruction. And as it says in the Apocrypha, in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, that it's going to leave a lot of fucking widows here in America, all right, and around the globe, because a lot of men are going to be fucking are going to start to become casualties. A lot of motherfuckers are going to start to become victims of this all-out apocalyptic global conflict that is going to set to occur. And in the midst of that, all-out holy hell, death and destruction on every side, with all the other destructive calamities that are going to hit this place. Okay? So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. See how close we are to the end. All right? Shalom.